Originally, when I first got to work with this company, I got to review their earlier version of the earbuds, and to be honest, I was really impressed with how good the earphones turned out to be, and mostly just how underrated they were. And this time I'm going to be looking at the MIFO 05 with 150 hours of battery life, a Qualcomm chipset, and dual mic noise cancel. And so starting off, the look of it is just so minimalistic and simple, and generally it's one of the reasons why I love it. There's just something about headphones that are not trying to do too much, that just encapsulates everything I love about earphones in general. And the reason that being is I feel like you don't have to exaggerate earphones or make them too extravagant looking just to make them appealing to a broader audience. The earbuds, for one, are very compact, and that makes them very easy to fit in your ears. One factor to keep in mind is the fact that they have automatic power saving mode, so within about 3 minutes of not being connected to Bluetooth, they will shut off in order to save battery life. Now, if you look closely at the earbuds, the parts with the circular hole is where your touch sensors will be located, and this is applicable for either the left earbud or the right earbud. Now, double tapping on either side of the earbud will either pause or play music, and double tapping on either side of the earbud will either pick up or hang up the phone. A single tapping on the left side will decrease the volume, and single tapping on the right side will increase the volume. And finally, if you're listening to music, triple tapping on the left side will go to the previous song, and triple tapping on the right side will go to the next song. Now, when it comes to the case, it's a very professional looking case. The only issue is it's a little bigger than most cases, so you might want to beware if you're someone with tiny pockets. The one thing that did irk me a lot is the hinge, which it's a little clunky and it's just a little noisy whenever you shut the headphones case. And the worst part about it is if you're supposedly using it in a library or even in a quiet lobby and just this happens to you. But other than that, I really don't think anything irked me to that degree. And also something to keep in mind, the headphone case is a little on the heavier side, but that's because of the 2600 milliamp battery. Something really cool that I really like is the fact that it comes with USB-C to USB adapter. So basically you can use the case itself to essentially charge your phone when you're on the go. Normally you'd expect everything a company does when it comes to earphones to be just targeted towards the earphones, charging for the earphones. But in this case, you can actually use some of the power in the case to be able to charge your phone. And charging is done entirely through USB-C, which at this point, it's the standard. And the good thing is there's about 10 hours, 9 to 10 of playtime with just one full charge. There's literally 150 hours of battery life if you include the earphones and the case. And every command is done through touch capacitive keys. And if you've been watching for a minute now, you already know what my stance is on that. I just personally prefer touch capacitive keys because having actual physical buttons, it kind of makes it annoying or a little difficult when it comes to pressing commands when the headphones are already in your ears. Just makes it a little irritating, it makes it a little uncomfortable because of the amount of pressure you'd have to use to press the buttons while the earphones is in your ear, and then that in turn can just either drop the earphone out of your ear or it just makes it even more uncomfortable for you while you're trying to listen to your podcast, your video, or your music. And the IP rating on this is IP167, and there's also dual mic noise cancelling and Bluetooth 5.0 for better connections and a sturdier connection. So I tested everything from music on Spotify, podcasts, videos on YouTube, and even movies and TV shows. When it comes to music, I personally like to do the distortion test, which basically means I go to Spotify, I change my equalizer to loud, and I try to put everything to the max and play any song and just listen to how bad the distortion is. And basically this gives me a rough estimate of how good the quality of the headphones are, depending on how bad the distortion is. when it comes to these headphones, there actually wasn't that much or any distortion at all, regardless of whatever I was playing or any song. Or now the sound bleed out when the headphones are in your ear is actually really well done. The sound didn't leak out of my ears, making it possible for anyone else around me to be able to hear exactly what I'm listening to. So just in general, the sound quality was way better than expected. And for these earbuds is the starter level Qualcomm chip 3040, which is supposed to sustain better connectivity, integrated active noise cancellation, and Qualcomm true wireless mirroring technology. For phone calls, there's 8.0 noise cancelling and 4 microphones as well. So the bottom line is the sound quality is actually really good, especially due to the fact that there's also hi-fi 3D audio integrated as well. So in conclusion, it has really great sound quality paired with hi-fi 3D audio and as well as a Qualcomm chipset. But for me personally, I think the case is just a little too flimsy. It looks better on the outside. As a whole unit, it just feels a little too flimsy for my personal taste. And on top of that, it falls on the larger side. So beware if you're someone with small pockets. And obviously, I do think it's awesome that you can charge your phone with the case itself. This just goes to show you that they at least had the consumer in mind more so than they had themselves and their earphones in mind. The 150-hour battery life and the IP rating is a definite go for anybody that is a gym rat or always is active. So overall, I'd say the earphones are maybe a 6 or 7 out of 10. But then again, of course, let me know what you think. That's just my personal opinion. Have a good day.